There once was a man named Gold Roger who was king of the pirates. He had fame, power, and wealth beyond your wildest dreams. Before they hung him from the gallows, these were the final words he said.
Our perspective is yours for the taking, but you'll have to join us first. We left everything we debated at the Yonkō Table.
Ever since, pirates from all over the world set sail for the Grand Line, searching for the Yonkō Table, the table that will make their dreams come true. Yo, folks, that's the voice of your Yonkō host, DrJaceAttorney, and we are here with the Yonkō Table, deep diving the latest chapter of One Piece, specifically chapter 1057. As you guys know, we've been trying to cover the weekly chapters of One Piece, and we've been doing a pretty good job. Just only missed one chapter, but Oda goes on breaks randomly, so it's kind of hard to keep track of when a chapter releases every week. But hey, we're here for 1057 today, and of course I said we, because with me for this chapter deep dive is fellow Yonko, Grandmaster Hoop. Grandmaster 1057, are you here for it?
I mean, I guess it's...
Oh, damn. Oh, the One Piece fans, they already kicked you out the fandom. Wow.
They can.
Wow.
It's just a wrap up, and it was already wrapped up. It's like, come on now, let's go.
I think this is like the proper conclusion now. Like,
I mean, it's definitely the proper conclusion. I will say this. I feel for emotional highs, sometimes I prefer the anime for really emotional scenes. I imagine this when it is animated will be very emotional, and then maybe I'll feel different. But again, reading chapter weekly, sometimes it's like, okay, this is just kind of a, tedious chapter. Nothing great.
Damn.
I don't mean like tedious. It's just like, if you read it weekly, sometimes it's gonna be amazing, sometimes it's gonna be okay, and sometimes you're just gonna be like, but it's One Piece, so it's never ever it's never bad. It's just, whether something happens or not. So
you're gonna start calling it mid piece now.
I never say mid. You love saying that I'm using the word mid, and I really don't use that word, because nothing One Piece is mid. Like I said, I think this animated, when voice acted included, will be a nice emotional ending for this saga.
A lot of people found this emotional right now too.
I mean, again, I'm not saying it's not emotional. I like to hear the voice acting.
Need the visual stimuli.
Yeah, correct.
And I guess the auditory ones too for the...
Yes.
Okay.
That's my preference.
That's
when
fair.
It comes to the emotional scenes. This is an emotional scene.
It is. We're going to be deep diving 1057. Those of you that are not familiar with how we typically do these, it's more of like a visual thing that we do. We go through the chapter that's officially released on Viz Media. A link for that will be in the description box down below. As we always say on the Yonkō Table, support the official release of everything or anything that we cover. You can read the chapter for free on Viz Media. So 1057, starting off on page 1, we have volume 16 of the Germa 66's an emotional excursion. I'm trying to keep track of like what's going on in the Germa bits. I just know Caesar Clown and I think Katakuri are like, or Katakuri and Oven, they're like fighting the Germa. And I guess Caesar Clown's in there too, because he's in the thing. I don't know if you keep track with like the cover stories like recently. Oh wait, I think you're muted.
Sorry,
you're muted.
I glimpse at them. I don't necessarily try to piece together.
You don't deep dive them. You don't be like, ooh, what's going on?
Not at
here?
all.
Wow.
Not at all.
Wow.
I mean, I guess it's not relevant till it is. So
that's true. That's
so then if there's ever cycles back to Katakuri and he's like, yeah, we had a run-in with Germa 66, then I'll be like, oh damn, I should have been paying attention.
You can always go back. You can always
go
back.
But no, I do not. I'm like, oh cool, Caesar Clown.
Oh my god, the laugh. Yes, he's one of the
and then
more
I move
iconic
on.
laughs. Oh man, I can't wait to get to that in our One Piece Chronicles pod. But yeah, it's the first page kind of just goes over typically what we just said earlier. It's kind of concluding everything with the Wano arc. Honestly, if I could be honest, if I'm honestly honest about how honestly I'm being, these parts where like people are singing, I kind of just skim them a little bit. I'm like, I don't know what the melody is. I don't know how this is supposed to sound like. I'll wait for the anime to do this because this does not mean anything to me right now.
I mean, I read it. I don't try to put my own melody, but again, it's celebration. They're wrapping up. It's wrapped up. Come on, let's keep moving.
It's wrapped up. It's going. It's going. Now, this is a part of the chapter, still on page 3, where I don't know how I feel about this. So Yamato decides that they are not going to go with the Straw Hats anymore, right? Yamato basically says, I've told Luffy and his friends that I'm not going. This feels like a 180 to me. Because at least for me, all of Wano was building up to Yamato kind of not necessarily becoming a Straw Hat, but joining them on the adventures like Kazuki Oden did, right? Like, I mean, is that just me or like, were you getting that?
I'm gonna be honest. Again, I need to probably reread Wano, but Yamato's introduction, I felt, one, Yamato was introduced in the raid, right? Yamato first.
I think it was right.
During the
think
raid.
So. I think
so. For me, Yamato's inclusion was so last minute.
Wow.
Any kind of, hopes of becoming a crew member or being like Odin, I did not really care for. So then when it did become pretty evident that Yamato would be joining the crew, I don't know. I don't know. Is this deserving? I mean, yes, Yamato helped in the raid, a great deal. But I was like, man, I don't know. Carrot went through a whole arc.
Yeah, Carrot's been with the. I mean, people have been wanting Carrot to join for a while, like
right, and then they gave Carrot the dukedom. She's now in charge of Zhao and gonna be running things, which is, of course, well deserved. But when Yamato was joining and now Yamato's not joining, I'm like, okay, way to waste my time. You wasted my time.
I mean, that's what I feel like it is. It's just a 180 at the last minute. Literally everything from when she was introduced. Well, maybe not when she was introduced, but Yamato from a certain point, it made it seem like, yes, Yamato is not going to be a Straw Hat, but Yamato's going to be joining the crew. And then as recent as the last chapter, Yamato was confirmed, yes, I will join the Straw Hats like Kazuki Oden did, and I'm going to sail the ocean with the Straw Hats to go on their adventure. And then in this chapter, Yamato's like, no, I'm not going. Part of me really thinks like there was some Shueisha executive that his hand came from the darkness towards Oda and it got a firm grip on his shoulder and he said, you better not put Yamato on that ship.
I hope that's not the case.
I mean, with a 180 like this, it does not feel natural to me. It really doesn't. Like, I know some fans are trying to be like, no, it makes sense because of A, B, and C. Like, Yamato's still trying to figure themselves out as a character. I'm like, no, it does not. That is a 180. It's like if goodness, who's a character that wanted to join the Straw? I guess
this is very reminiscent. And again, Nino Desplazado has said this before. Wano in itself is very similar to Alabasta and how the arc moves and how it, paces itself. Granted, Wano is grander, but similar beats. This is very similar to Vivi. You thought Vivi was going to join the crew and be, the 7th Straw Hat. Right?
Well, like, she didn't change her mind at the Vivi
definitely changed her mind. That was because that was the whole thing. It was kind of a big reveal that Vivi was gonna stay and be princess. But then even so, there was the whole scene where Vivi races out to meet them, and Igaram is disguised as Vivi, and they're like, oh snap, Vivi is gonna join them, but no, Vivi just goes to say goodbye. And this one's very similar. Yamato was like, I'm gonna join, celebrates with them, and then bam, I'm not going. It's not like Odin has to do this walking about the country. I got to do that first. I'm like, great, cool.
Thanks.
Moving on. I'm
Thanks.
like, yeah, I'm like, okay, awesome.
You wasted my time.
I've just really been not that I'm not a fan of Yamato. I just didn't really care if Yamato joined the crew or not. I didn't care.
Damn. I mean, part of it, I thought that she wasn't going to join the crew because that would have overshadowed Jinbei joining the crew in this arc.
We have not had Jinbei proper, right? With the whole crew.
Right, exactly. So this is like, I feel like Oda, based on tradition, he's not going to introduce two new characters at the same time in the same arc to join the Straw Hats. So if Yamato became a Straw Hat, I just was not going to buy it because it's like, no, it's Jinbei. This is Jinbei's introduction as a Straw Hat into the crew. So Yamato's staying on Wano. Great, fantastic. But a lot of this chapter is based on Momonosuke and Kinemon getting pissed that the Straw Hats are going to leave without saying goodbye. How rude of them.
Yes.
That is not proper. And of course, you're going through flashbacks with Luffy and Momonosuke, the many times that they were at each other's throats. Luffy's calling Momonosuke a friggin' baby, a coward in some instances. And Momonosuke's a child, but so Luffy is kind of being a little rough with him, but it comes from a good place.
Right.
Did you like this dynamic with like Luffy and Momonosuke? Like, did you buy the brotherhood aspect of it, or do you feel like I wouldn't call it a brotherhood?
I mean, they're brotherly. A brotherhood is more than just two people.
I guess. I mean, like
they're brotherly
bond. The brotherly bond.
Yeah, they have a brotherly bond, and Luffy just has to knock some perspective into him. As far as, you are supposed to be the shogun of this giant country. You need to stop whining and come on and do something about it, So, well, I mean, Luffy's always been like that. Luffy's always been say with your chest.
With a
boom. Doesn't hold back if he thinks someone's in the wrong or someone's not doing as much as they could. So
he never tries to filter his words with anyone.
Right. So again, flashbacks. Obviously they're trying to build the emotion here. Again, I imagine animated. You're gonna throw in some nice little music in the background of those scenes. That would be nice. So yeah.
No, I agree. Maybe this will be, I feel like this will definitely be an emotional piece.
I just feel endings really resonate well when, you add the music, the transitions between scenes, because this is a giant culmination. This arc was huge. This saga really started back in Punk Hazard and now it's over.
Oh, wow. That is right.
I mean, as far as the Pirate Alliance goes, like
the Pirate Alliance and even the Devil Fruits, the artificial fruits.
Mm-hmm. And so, like we're on this page right here, and you get, Law saying, I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but you got Law saying, well, we're total enemies. If people die, so be it. I'm like, dude, you just went through like hell and back with Luffy. Say that to Kid. Don't say that to Luffy. You need to have like a bro moment with Luffy. He saved your damn life from
Doflamingo.
He
had your back that whole time.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, y'all just can't part as enemies. Look what you just did.
Look what you
took out two emperors, and Luffy, totally.
So we'll kill each other next time.
See you later, Trophy. What? That's it?
I mean, part of me just thinks of it as like that's just him that's just Law, like kind of being like
Law's being Law. It's not out of character.
Yeah, Sussy Baka. He's just like trying to be that tsundere character where he's like, I'm never gonna, cry with you, Luffy. I'm never gonna say.
Our goals were aligned. That's it. That's all it was.
Exactly. And to be fair, I guess he did mention that in the very beginning. He said, let's form a temporary alliance so that we can take out these characters. Doflamingo. Honestly, the Doflamingo bit alone, I feel like should have solidified them as like besties.
More than an alliance,
Right. Because that was a personal journey for Law. So Luffy being the one to just slap around Doflamingo, I don't know. Like I don't think that they're gonna fight each other like the way Law is saying, but he definitely means it with Kid. I can buy it with Kid. Kid is just too violent. Like I don't know what his deal is. He's always angry. Kids here out of circumstance. If they didn't have this plot, Kid would have been in that prison this whole time. Still, exactly. Right. So they just kind of accept it. They're like, yeah, next time we see each other, it's guns blazing. And Momonosuke finally catches up with Kinemon and Yamato to give some sense to Luffy to say like, yo, man, why didn't you, say goodbye? Why'd you leave without saying a word? You said bye to everyone else. And this is where I kind of see it being an emotional bit if it's animated. You have Momonosuke just bawling with snot and piss and tears everywhere.
Typical One Piece crying fashion.
The ugly cry. The cry.
Ugliest of cries, right?
I love it. And Luffy explains to him like, I wasn't just going to leave you. Like, there's a reason why I'm over here, because I knew you were going to come over and see me. And he basically gives him a flag.
He gives him the Jolly Roger.
He gives him the Jolly Roger. And it reminds me a lot of, don't we learn this from Shanks? Like there are some islands that are under the protection of the red hair pirates.
Well, that's the thing. That's how you become an emperor. You establish territory.
Right.
Big Mom had Whole Cake in all those surrounding Chocolate Town, Sugar Town.
Right.
I don't freaking know. Wano is under the Straw Hat's protection. Wano flies under the Straw Hat Jolly Roger. And like Luffy's saying right now, that if anyone messes with my crew, they're picking a fight with us.
I love that.
If anyone dares steps to Wano, basically just call, And
we'll come smacking around. Which is like, I wonder how, like, because to revisit an island is a big deal in One Piece. So it's like.
Well, and the other thing is too, so, we do have like the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. However, most of them are pirates themselves. But for example, like Dressrosa is still part of the world government as far as, like they have a seat at the Reverie.
Right.
Wano can very much fly the Straw Hat flag and be fine because, they're not part of the world government. They're cut off from the world.
Right.
So
they're one of the more dangerous islands compared to the other ones that would appear at like the World Reverie and stuff like that.
Right. But it's like, every kingdom that the Straw Hats have made friends and alliances with, they can't hang their banner,
Right.
Because but like, people like Big Mom, all her territory, that's just Big Mom's territory, Those aren't kingdoms and whatnot. So
right, it's just like, I carved out this piece of land for me, so this is my land. Like, but over here, this is a country. This is an established country that Luffy came in and is like, hey, this is Straw Hat territory, which is really cool because that's never happened before.
It has never happened before, and again, it like you said, this is a country that's been on the world government's radar forever, and now that they're aligned with the Straw Hats, they're like,
that's a big deal.
Fuck. Jeez. Jesus. Somebody put this boy in the ground. Akainu, you had one job.
Why didn't we cap him when his wanted poster was 30 million?
Right. It's like, goodness, what else are these straw hats gonna do? So it is a big deal. It's a big deal.
Right. So they're basically part of, the Straw Hat territory. And Momonosuke has a bit of a moment here. Again, music and animation is probably going to make this scene hit a lot more, but he basically says, someday in the future, I will surpass Kozuki Oden. And then you have a scene with Yamato kind of just in the background saying, oh, me?
See, okay, more to the whole point where I feel Yamato's just a last minute addition. I appreciate Kinemon being like, I'll be there to witness it. Kinemon was there in Punk Hazard,
Right.
Like, I feel I resonate more with Momonosuke and Kinemon. So
yeah, they've been around for, oh my gosh, when you think about it,
it's been years.
I think it's been close to 10 years. Now that I think about it, because I think Punk Hazard in the manga, it was going around when we were in undergrad.
Like freshman year.
Yeah. I am like 90% sure. So these are characters, they're saying goodbye. Wow. So almost 10, it's roughly 10 years. Maybe it's
I think you're
years,
right.
9 years. But I wanna say 10 because they met them in Punk Hazard.
Debuted in 2012. So yes, Kinemon and Momo have been traveling with the Straw Hats and all their shenanigans for 10 years.
A decade. Wow.
This whole story point started 10 years ago.
That's insane. And now it's goodbye. Vivi didn't get that, obviously, right? She got maybe 3 years, 2 years, worth of storytelling.
Yeah, maybe. But it's like, when you think about it, so technically there's the Dressrosa saga, which is Punk Hazard and Dressrosa. Then there's the Emperor saga, which is Whole Cake, Zal, and Wano.
Yeah,
this is they have transitioned through 2 sagas with these characters.
Okay, right.
Versus Vivi was the Alabasta saga, which was a long saga. But
right,
what they did for Kinemon and Momo, and I guess Yamato, they they worked really hard.
They did.
They've been through hell and back.
They certainly have. They got new forms. They got new bounties. I mean, it's all good. They got new status as emperors. It's crazy.
Right.
Actually, yeah. When you think about new, Momonosuke went through 2 gears with Luffy and the gang. 2 gears, like Gear 4 in Dressrosa and now Gear 5 in Wano.
I mean, if you want to even take it a step further, I mean, Momo was a kid and then they did the time thing and now he's the right age. So he went through almost a whole quarter of his life with Luffy, technically,
Yeah, I guess, yeah. They age him up really quickly, so... I can't wait to see this animated. This is gonna be nice.
Yes, I think this will be nice to see.
So then you have this little scene right here. Again, I feel like there's I don't know what you call, like a rivalry between these 3.
Yeah, it's friendly,
Right. They're all trying to decide I guess what port to exit from to leave Wano properly.
Mm-hmm.
Not only being the navigator, she picks the most optimal route for the port, and then I guess Law kind of has that same choice too. And yet, first off, I don't know how, because they're far away from each other, I don't know how Kid is being able to speak as loudly as he is right here so that Law and Luffy can hear them, but he kind of mocks them a little bit. He says, oh, you guys are going for the proper port. That's such a safe and secure route. Good for you, couple of losers. And that irks both of them. I knew it was gonna irk Luffy, but I'm surprised Law is letting Kid get to him like that.
No, see, and that is the beauty of Law's character. Law puts on this, this front that, he doesn't care. He's like, too chill. He's too lax.
Right.
Law still cares. He's a captain. He views these guys as rivals, and he's not going to let someone say, he's doing things the safe and secure route. And then Luffy, you just can't challenge Luffy to anything without being, met with action. Right. So it's and again, when I really think about it, I don't really think of any anime that come to mind where there's like a nice rivalry between characters that very much could be enemies. One, like they'll be friends in one chapter, and they can literally be enemies next. That's how complex this world is. They do not have to be friends. They don't have to be an alliance unless their goals align. So despite they're making fun of each other, calling them losers, if Law sees fit that he needs to strike against Luffy, he probably will, despite everything that has happened.
I see him. Yeah.
I think One Piece is very good at storytelling like that. Anybody can flip like that. I mean, we saw it with the Cross Guild. We never thought,
oh my god,
to this day, that you'd see a character like Mihawk nor Crocodile flip and go join Buggy, of all people.
If you would have told me that was your prediction like a month ago, like, oh yeah, I really think that Buggy can recruit Mihawk for whatever reason, I would say get out. But Mihawk, Crocodile working with Buggy, there's no way. Here we are.
And it's funny, they've been building it. Buggy, I mean, I know Buggy's not in this chapter, but Buggy has slowly been recruiting pirates and enemies that they have crossed. And if you really think about it, they're, in terms of power and notability, has risen every time.
Right. Yeah, Buggy's been doing things his way, and it's been working. He's one of the emperors. Here we go.
Right now, here we go now. What? Because their bounties are all equal. Just Luffy's considered the 5th emperor.
Oh, are they all equal?
They're all equal. They're all like 3 billion, no? Or
I guess. I could be wrong. I know they were relatively in the same field. I remember Kid was mostly pissed with what you said, the emperor status for Luffy, because he's like, what the hell? We beat an emperor too. Why is Luffy the emperor? Why does he get emperor status? Why does he get Yonko status?
So Laws is 3 billion, and if I'm not mistaken, they're all 3 billion. Yeah, Kid is 3 billion as well.
That makes sense. And
then Luffy is 3 billion. So.
Right. And I mean, it just makes sense by itself because they are the captains of the crew that came and defeated 2 emperors that have had a grip on the world for decades.
Yeah. At best, like 30 years.
Right, exactly. So some heavy stuff. I like this panel at the bottom where it kind of just shows them like screaming at the top of their lungs, like just hating each other. I like this shot. I like this shot at the bottom.
I like this shot too. Yeah.
On page 12. This is where I mean, maybe you could get some insight on this, but like this is kind of where they're still
singing.
Kind of like, oh what?
Right.
Oh,
or no, they're not singing. No.
They're kind of doing that tale. I forgot what type of stories you call this in like traditional Japanese culture, but like they're telling the tale of what happened in Wano. They're kind of embellishing certain things, and but all of it's still true. Like they're telling the truth of what happened, but they're just adding more pizzazz to it, right?
Right.
Like for example, like this part right here, this guy saying, with a great bellow of thunder, Onigashima and Kaido the Dragon King plummeted to the earth, and the great cloud over Wano disappeared.
Throwing in some symbolism and metaphors and making it some nice visuals, right?
Exactly. This this portion right here, I keep forgetting this character's name.
That's his sister.
That's his sister. Okay. This is why I need it animated. Because like
Hiyori, I believe. Yeah, Hiyori.
So this is Hiyori. That's
Hiyori.
Okay.
That's Odin's daughter.
Right.
who did
okay.
not go 20 years in the future.
She actually aged properly.
Right.
Okay, got it. I mean, all this is cool. They're like, I like seeing Orochi's like just face get obliterated, like from fire. Like you see it screaming in the top left corner. It's just, again, these guys had a tight grip on the country of Wano, Kaido, and Orochi, and they're just retelling a tale where they're gonna remember this for centuries if this country goes on for that long.
Right.
Did you tear up with Hiyori right here?
No.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
Korazumi Orochi, he was already done. I am like, okay, yay for the people. Yay.
Yeah.
Me as a viewer, I want to know what's happening next.
Unbelievable.
It's fine. Again, I imagine, because again, I've been reading these weekly for however long, what I think is a little bit more than 3 years. Wano has been.
Easily.
I don't remember all the plot points. So if a character doesn't resonate with me, there's nothing I can do. It's been so freaking long.
It's time to watch the anime.
Yes, correct. And I'm still on Whole Cake.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's taken forever. So
we'll get to it. But this one I definitely like. It's kind of like the family photo.
I like this.
16.
I do like this because again, all the scabbards. I mean,
right.
they put one dent on Kaido, all 9 of them.
Oh yeah, they did the scratch, right?
Yeah, they cut him, and then Zoro made a deeper cut. 9 of them did what one Zoro could do.
They're not Zoro, no.
It's fine. Inu and the cat one whose name escapes me, they had their fight. Everybody did something,
Everyone
it's not
had a moment, right?
Yeah, everybody had a moment, so it's good. And I like the scabbards, and Yamato's there too, and the Kunoichi who lost all the weight.
Oh, Shinobu. I think it's Shinobu.
I mean, she was fine, I think, the way she was, but
now we gotta slim her up.
Oh, what was it? Green Bull sucked the life out of them.
Yeah, Green Bull like sucked which is weird because like, so what? He sucked the life out of Shinobu, but Raizo in the background.
I mean, it sounds mean, but it sounds like he sucked the fat out of her.
But it's like if he did that, shouldn't have, because Raizo, the ninja, right?
Yeah, Raizo, he looks perfectly good right there.
He looks like he's back to his original size.
But Raizo was not, he was always skinny. His body is just weirdly shaped. So I don't know. One thing's played up for laughs, Raizo. One thing's played up for, maybe I have a bias on the certain women body types that I like.
Goodness.
Because Sanji over here with Shinobu was like, I don't want to give Shinobu the time of day. I'm sure he would say something else now.
I think he did a couple times.
I mean, I can't remember if he saw Shinobu like this.
Maybe. I don't
but like
remember.
it's calling out people's biases. You should have liked Shinobu before. I like Shinobu.
I like Shinobu before too. She was a silly character that was a ninja. That was cool. That was
correct. I thought it was cool, right? But little side thought. But I do like the scabbards. They're all here. They're gonna see Momo through. Make sure he makes it and be the best Shogun possible. What's his name? Kanjuro.
Which one?
The one who betrayed them.
Oh yes, I think his name. Yeah, Kanjuro. The one with the makeup, the long hair.
the one with the paintbrush.
Yes.
Fuck him. Good riddance.
Why?
He was bad.
Wow. No, he was bad. He needed to go. He needed to go.
Mm-hmm.
And away he went. I don't remember if he died. Did he die?
This thing says he's alive. I don't recall. Okay. Again, so much freaking happened.
Yeah,
so I do not recall.
A lot of characters. And then you get this caption on the last page, that's all the time we have for today. While our ways might part for now, May our paths cross again someday, somewhere. The end.
Okay, so you were mentioning, what these stories are called, where it's like that little curtain like that.
Right.
Um,
Yes.
So funny enough, I think my third graders, I believe this is Kamishibai. That is what
Okay.
it's called. They
Okay.
come out with a cart, and it would be like, the temple set up with a curtain. You pull the curtain, and it's a little puppet show, and that's essentially what this is. And usually there's a music box associated
The
with
music, right? I know that plays.
So I never put it together. I made those third graders read it
Really?
for the
You never
last.
put this together on it?
Never.
But like the acts would close like this.
I
It was
know,
the
I
end
know.
of Act 2, end of Act 1.
And that was the thing. This guy would roll his card out, and at the end of the school days, and then he'd be like, "Oh, you got to come back tomorrow." That's why they're saying, "That's all the time we have today," because he literally make them come back.
Right.
So very cool, very nice symbolism, and parallels.
I guess the music that
the music too.
They're playing right here.
And then it closes out too with the clang clang, which I think is the drum. Yeah.
Right.
Very nice. Very nice.
And they're trying to figure out a place to raise the flag for the Straw Hats in Wano.
You better put it where somebody can see before they invade.
Clearly, yeah. So they know, Luffy got a new gear. You better watch out.
And that's also a nice sentiment to end on. Momo's like, where should we put the flag to commemorate all our time together?
And there we go. The end.
Nobody should be touching Wano.
No one's gonna be touching it. I mean, it's very funny how Luffy, not Luffy, Kid and Law kind of respect, like, even though Kid is pissed that Luffy is an emperor, they both kind of respect that, like, okay, well, since Kaido's gone, we're not gonna claim this as our territory. Luffy's the one that beat Kaido. He's the one that gets to claim it as his territory. So he's the one that's going to give them. And again, he had the relationship with Momonosuke to even be bothered with it. So I imagine if for whatever reason, or maybe Kid, if Kid for whatever reason was to walk up to Momonosuke, who's now the new shogun, and he gives his flag saying, "Hey, hang this up so that this is our territory," Momonosuke's going to say, "Hell no, what the hell? Who are you?"
Mean, when you think about it, I don't know if like the community of One Piece fans have been talking about this. Shouldn't Law and Kid go split up Big Mom's territory?
Oh, yeah, technically. They're the ones that defeated her, yeah.
I don't know, because her children aren't necessarily. No, they're aware now that Big Mom's been defeated, but for the most part. But isn't that what they need to go do? If they're trying to lay claim,
right,
they need to figure out how that works.
Yeah, because they're technically not emperors.
They're not emperors.
It's like, well, even though they defeated Big Mom, do they get to claim her territory, or is that only grabs for another Yonko to lay claim to it?
I don't know. I feel anybody can claim territory. The people who were, the previous Yonko, Whitebeard, Shanks, Kaido, Big Mom, and Blackbeard, they've always had the most territory, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
So that's why they were the Yonko. Whitebeard, then Blackbeard. So I feel anyone can amass territory, and then it's like the greatest influence is going to be considered a Yonko. And they were like, this is Luffy's first territory, but they're like, Luffy done wrecked everybody, so he's got to be it. And it can't be anybody but Luffy.
Ain't no one else.
Right. Ain't nobody but Luffy.
Since this is the conclusion of Wano, I have a couple questions, and we could knock these out. But the first one being, because we've had this back and forth both in the community and even in our Discord chat, which if you want to check out the discourse on our Discord, link to that in the description box down below. But first question up being, Do you think Kaido is dead and Big Mom? I don't think they're dead.
No.
I think the Navy came by when they're unconscious. They are either locked up somewhere or they're not dead. I don't know where they are, but they are not dead. That's my 2 cents. I understand they got blasted into like magma, a volcano, and they baked in lava. But again, they're not dead. They're not dead. That's me. They're not dead.
No, I don't think they're dead. I mean, you need a body.
Show me a body.
And
where's the body?
In the world of One Piece, we have seen people survive lava, like lava straight through their chest. Lava to the chest.
I guess. I mean, you mean Luffy? You mean?
Yeah. Okay. But like, and Jinbei too.
Okay. Right.
But like, I guess nobody like engulfed in lava. But either way, they would have shown a body. All that we got were 2 silhouettes. I feel it's not enough.
Their
wiki
feel it's not says enough. Status unknown.
Yeah, that's all I need. That sounds right. That sounds better than they're dead. I mean, CPO was running around during all this mess. You know, maybe they dragged him out. You know,
potentially. I can see that.
Yeah, no, I don't think they're dead for sure.
I like how none of them question where's the body either. Like, I mean, I guess from their perspective is, well, I mean, that's the thing too, because Luffy's not going to assume that he just killed someone, right? So, like, his question should be, well, where's Kaido? You know, but I guess he's never really questioned when he beats the crap out of someone, like where they go afterwards.
Sure doesn't.
Like, oh, who's gonna take care of him? Is the Navy gonna arrest him? Are you guys gonna arrest him for the kingdom? So I guess it fits the character, but still, like, I want to know where these 2 are because they're Yonkō. Right. They're Yonkō. I imagine when they wake up, they're not gonna be too happy that Luffy's the new claimer to Wano.
Well, I'll say this as far as Kaido goes. I think Kaido respects he lost that fight. Right. Like, I feel Kaido, I've been waiting for someone to kill me, someone to beat me. Joy Boy, where's Joy Boy?
Joy Boy.
Here's Joy Boy. And so I think Kaido would be, probably upset he lost, but he has to respect it if he is the warrior he claims,
Right.
Big Mom probably is super pissed.
Yeah, I can see her. Kaido has a little bit of honor in him.
That's the crazy part. Sense. Kaido, in really in a nutshell, I mean, Kaido is bad. And again, I don't even remember all the atrocities he's done, but really, I feel Orochi was the worst scum of Wano. Yeah. Kaido was just the muscle.
Right.
I mean, I know Kaido's
done terrible things.
Yeah, he's done terrible. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I just feel Orochi is probably worse as far as like morality goes than Kaido.
Right.
I just feel Kaido was really Orochi's
Orochi
muscle.
doesn't really have a code or anything. He's just a terrible person. Kaido, despite the crimes he's committed, he kind of has respect and honor in a way.
Right. So if Kaido is alive, I imagine he'd be okay. I think he would retire. I think he would retire.
Ooh.
He's been beaten. I don't think he wants anything else in this world.
Okay. Potentially.
Big Mom's got her children. Go be a mother. I don't know.
Oh, I think it's too late for Big Mom. It is way too late for Big Mom. I don't know. You never know.
You never know.
One Piece likes doing 180s on things like this sometimes. But the last thing, where do you think they're going? What do you think comes after this? Do you expect another big arc right away? I mean, we're in the final saga, but again, it's a saga, so that's the entire umbrella of what's gonna happen. So we might have 3 arcs in this saga, we might have 4 arcs, whatever. Do you see more of a calm right now before things pick up? Do you want some downtime with the Straw Hats?
Well, that's the thing. You can go 2 ways. The next arc might be full on setup, and it's kind of relatively slow in pacing as far as building characters and building mythos. Or they might do all of that but be guns blazing. Wherever they get to next might already be war torn, under attack.
You think they're gonna start us off with that so soon?
They could. I mean, switch it up a bit. But yeah, I feel and I stand by this. They're gonna have to start coming ahead with a lot of these other factions, or at least these other factions really need to establish what's going on. For example, I say it's gonna be the Cross Guild, the Marines, and the world government, or it's going to be the revolutionaries. I'm telling you right now, everybody thinks the revolutionaries is just after the world government. I am sure if pirates got in their way, they would have no problem, getting pirates out of their way. Because we don't really know their end game yet.
I mean, I do agree that I feel like their end goal is the world government, but if a pirate got in their way towards their goal of the world government, then they're gonna fight those pirates or whatever. But I feel like the revolutionaries don't really have an agenda with pirates specifically.
Correct. It would have to be the pirates as the aggressors, which at this point Vivi is missing, supposedly kidnapped, and Sabo just killed King Cobra. They might have a bone to pick with that. They might want some answers on that.
Show me a body. King Cobra's not dead.
Right. Show me a body. I think there might be some deeper plot going on here.
There definitely is.
But if he is dead, and Vivi is missing, I think they might do a little investigation. Who knows? Maybe they don't care. Maybe they won't care.
Maybe you know what? Maybe they'll pick up because usually the chapters after this, when we go to the Straw Hats, it's kind of them assessing and kind of reflecting on what they went through on the previous island, while also looking forward to where they're going to go next, and also kind of gathering information on what's going on in the world. So maybe the next chapter or two, it might be them learning about what's going on with Sabo, what's going on with Vivi, what is going on in the rest of the world as they make their way to the next island, and what does it mean with the state that they left Wano in.
Correct.
So, and then maybe at the end Luffy will say, Nami, where are we going next? What island's next? And we'll get teased for I honestly, this is the least likely outcome. I will lose it if the next island is that's the territory of Blackbeard. He's there on that island. That's too much. You're
not ready for that confrontation?
I feel like it's too soon. I feel like the most likely place they're going is Buggy's. He's the most, the whole tease of Cross Guild, it seems like it warrants the question of how did Buggy recruit these two people? How did he recruit Mihawk and Crocodile?
That is a big question.
I feel like that's the closest thing that they would go to, or at least maybe it's not the next island, but that's along the line that they're going to.
Right.
So, I mean, we'll see. I think Blackbeard's too soon. Shanks is way too soon. They're not doing Shanks.
Shanks is too soon. I agree. I think what I really like is all the uncertainty there is right now in the One Piece world. It has been a very long time since we've had a clear cut kind of, this is where they're going, this is what's happening next. I don't know when it's been like this before. I feel Punk Hazard was the last time.
Ooh.
It's been so kind of up in the air
because you didn't know
what's
where
going to
they
happen
would go,
next.
like if it's Dressrosa or.
Well, I mean, when they got to Punk Hazard, I feel they weren't planning to go to Punk Hazard.
Okay. No, I get what you mean. They left Fishman Island. Their goal from as far back as Water 7, their goal was to get to Fishman
Island. Right.
And all that other stuff happened to get in the way, right? Thriller Bark,
right.
Saboti, Paramount War, all that stuff happened. And then eventually, time skip happens. They finally get to Fishman Island. So once they do Fishman Island, now it's well, what next?
Yeah, they didn't really have a clear goal. They just made it to Punk Hazard, and then you know that established their goals further on.
Right.
And then you know, it's a giant question mark right now. But Oda has laid out the pieces, and it allows the fandom to brew and be like, well, this could happen, this could happen. I like the uncertainty. Right. I like that there's this mystery of what's going to happen next, especially after he says, yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up in 3 years time.
BS.
I mean, yeah, wishful thinking.
I mean, good for him to kind of like a timetable, but no.
Right. We'll see. But yeah, it's a very exciting time to be a One Piece fan.
For sure. And yeah, that pretty much wraps up Wano. It's the end. The next chapter is going to be the Straw Hats on their ship, and we'll get some interactions we haven't seen ever. Like, hopefully, Jinbei's on the ship now. This is his first time, with downtime with the crew,
with the whole crew.
No more splitting up. No more half of us go ahead to this island and the other half stays here. No more of that. I liked it when they did it, but I mean, you remember when we're in Dressrosa, there was 3 or 4 years we didn't see some of the other
Sanji,
characters.
Chopper, Brook, Nami. Yeah.
Right. No, and it's it's noticeable. So Oda, you had your fun splitting up the crew. It's interesting. It was interesting, but final saga, the crew got to be together. No more splitting up.
Also, as far as the final saga goes too, it's time, I don't think we need any new characters really. There might be
new crew members.
No, not new crew members. I mean, look at the Scabbards. We still got the Scabbards up. That was a lot of people to learn about,
Right.
And all of Wano in itself. I mean, of course, we're gonna get some new characters, but I think in your final saga, that's a really good time to really play with what you have left. They got the Cross Guild, they got still the Marines running around, they got the Revolutionaries. It'll be really fun to really now see established characters and how they're going to play into the final saga versus a newly introduced character. I rather enjoy a story about characters that we know and who we've grown with now all colliding versus a new faction or a new character.
I can buy that because the Scabbards played a significant role in Wano, and they were all new characters.
Right.
Whereas now it's you have so many characters. We're still going to get new characters from the islands that we visit from here on toward the end. But I feel kind of like what you said, none of them should be as significant as the Scabbards because we're in the final saga. We have characters all over the world in One Piece. It's time to see how we all reconvene back together. Who's fighting who's teaming up with who. That's going to be very interesting because it's cool to see the Scabbards, but you see something again Mihawk and Crocodile, characters you haven't seen in God knows how long, joining Buggy. That's creating conversations.
Yes, right. I think you're gonna reignite the fandom when I mean, I hate to call it fan service, but it is fan service when we get these crossings between characters and these meetups and these fights, though. That will be really satisfying.
It will be. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up our thoughts on chapter 1057. This is the proper conclusion to Wano, and the proper conclusion to the Emperor saga. And overall, Wano was pretty good. Again, kind of like what you were saying earlier, I need to reread it. I really need to reread it, back to back no gaps in between chapters, none of that. I get to read it all, absorb everything. Right. And maybe that's how I'm going to remember the names. That's how I remember names from all the previous arcs of One Piece, when I just read everything together. So Yeah, that's all we have to say here at the Yonkō Table for chapter 1057 of One Piece. And as we mentioned earlier in the episode, check out the official link to read the chapter. You can read it for free. And always support the official release of One Piece. And let us know what you all think of chapter 1057 in the comments below, wherever you're listening to us on, whether it be Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Twitter. We're on all social media, folks, at the Yonkō Table. And to see our lovely faces for this special episode, check out at DrJaceAttorney on YouTube. But with that, everyone, I'm your Yonkō host, DrJaceAttorney, and fellow Yonkō Grandmaster Hoop, signing off, and take care.